Did you know that a single untreated stroke can age your brain by 3.6 years every single hour? And just one day, your brain could age several decades? It's terrifying. But what if I told you that you have the power to do the exact opposite? Dr. Thomas back again with part 2 of our series, How to De-Age Just by Switching Up Your Diet. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the series. Okay, let's just sit with that for a second, because that statistic is absolutely staggering. And this isn't some kind of metaphor. When a stroke happens, blood flow to parts of your brain gets cut off, and your brain cells, your neurons, are literally starved of oxygen. This sets off this huge disastrous cascade of cell death and stress. The amount of damage that happens is what the brain would normally go through over years, sometimes even decades, but it's all crammed into just a few hours or a day. It's a truly devastating event. And that right there is the hope, and it's the whole reason we're doing this explainer today. While something like a stroke is a catastrophic fast forward on aging, our daily choices can be this powerful force moving in the complete opposite direction. We're not just talking about preventing bad things from happening. We're talking about actively building up your brain's health, its strength, its resilience. And honestly, nutrition is one of the most powerful tools we have in our toolkit to do just that. So to figure out how to protect our brains, first we've got to understand what we're actually up against. See, on a cellular level, there's this constant battle happening inside your head. It's this tug of war between things that cause damage and your body's own repair systems. And as you get older, well, the damaged side can start to get the upper hand. And here they are, the two main culprits, the bad guys in the story. First, you've got oxidative stress. The best way to think about this is like cellular rust. It's caused by these unstable molecules, free radicals that just bounce around, damaging cells, proteins, even your DNA. Then there's chronic inflammation. This isn't like when you sprain your ankle and it swells up. No, this is like a low-level fire that's just smoldering throughout your body all the time. It never really goes out, and it wears everything down, especially the super delicate environment of your brain. In fact, scientists have a name for this whole process. They call it inflammaging, a mashup of inflammation and aging. It's now seen as one of the key drivers behind so many age-related diseases, everything from heart problems to, yes, neurodegenerative diseases. So here's the crucial takeaway. If we can turn down the dial on that inflammation, maybe with what we eat, we can directly slow down how fast our brains age. It's that simple. So how do we fight back? How do we put out that fire? Well, lucky for us, there's a specific science-backed strategy, and it's called the MIND diet. MIND is actually an acronym. It stands for Mediterranean-Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay. It's a bit of a mouthful, but the important thing is it was designed specifically to fight those forces of oxidative stress and inflammaging we were just talking about. Now, what's so brilliant about the MIND diet is that it isn't built from scratch. It's a super smart hybrid of two of the most famous, well-researched diets on the planet. You've got the Mediterranean diet, which is, legendary for protecting heart health. And then you have the DASH diet, which stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension, and its whole goal is to lower blood pressure. Both are fantastic, but neither one was created with the brain as its number one priority. And this is where the MIND diet gets its edge. This is its secret sauce. It takes all the awesome heart and blood pressure benefits from both of those diets, and then it refines them. It adds a laser focus on neuroprotection. So it doesn't just say eat vegetables, it says eat leafy greens because they are packed with nutrients like folate and vitamin K that your brain loves. It doesn't just say eat fruit, it specifically points to berries, which are loaded with antioxidants that can actually get into your brain and protect it. This is a diet that was literally engineered for your brain. Okay, so we get the why, we understand the science. Now let's get down to the really practical stuff, the how. What does eating this way actually look like in real life? I promise it's a lot more straightforward than you might think. All right, here it is, your cheat sheet. And look, this is not about being perfect, it's about patterns over time. On the left, these are the 10 brain-healthy food groups you want to lean into. Notice how specific it is. Try for a leafy greens like spinach or kale at least 6 times a week. Berries a couple times a week. A handful of nuts most days. And on the right, the 5 groups you want to limit. Now the goal isn't to banish them forever, just to reduce them. Less red meat, way less fried food. Think of it as a guide, not a set of super strict rules. Feeling a little overwhelmed by that list? Please don't be. You absolutely do not have to change everything all at once. Just start with one of these simple swaps, for real. Just add a big handful of spinach to your smoothie or your eggs in the morning. Start cooking with olive oil instead of butter. Trade that afternoon candy bar for a handful of almonds or some fresh blueberries. It's these small, consistent changes that really build up over time. And here's what this could actually look like. This is just an idea, a template to show you how delicious and full of variety this way of eating is. You've got oatmeal and berries, big salads, hearty soups, baked salmon, even homemade pizza on a Saturday night. This is not about deprivation. It's about abundance. It's about loading your plate with foods that actively fuel and protect that amazing brain of yours. So we've gone through the science, we've got the strategy, but what about the results? I mean, what kind of an impact can this really have? Well, let me tell you, the data is it's incredible. Check out this chart. This comes from a huge study from Rush University, and what they found was that people who followed the Mind Diet the closest had a 53% lower rate of developing Alzheimer's disease. 53%. I mean, that is massive. But here's what's maybe even more amazing. Look at that middle bar. Even people who had just moderate adherence saw a 35% reduction. This is fantastic news. It shows that you don't have to be perfect to get huge, potentially life-changing benefits. Now, of course, it is so important for me to say that this explainer is for informational purposes. Everyone's body, everyone's health situation, and nutritional needs are unique. So please, before you make any big changes to what you eat, talk to your doctor or a registered dietitian. They can help you create a plan that is perfect for you. So, let's end with a simple challenge. I want you to look back at that list of brain-healthy foods and just ask yourself, what is one brain food that I can add to my plate today? Maybe it's a handful of walnuts with your lunch. Maybe it's a side of kale with dinner, or just some blueberries in your morning yogurt. Taking care of your health really does start with one small, simple choice. And don't forget, our series continues next Thursday with another unmissable explainer on how you can de-age just by changing your diet. I'll see you then.